What is going on, guys? This is MLB The Show 22. Just talking about the differences between this one and MLB The Show 21. Now, this is franchise mode. This is on dynamic difficulty. And the main difference from 22 to me is the pitching. I can't really seem to get the strikeouts. There's some games where I don't strike nobody out. It's just getting the strikeouts is just way too hard sometimes. Like, you'll get 1 and 2 strikes, but you just can't finish with the strikeout. And one of the reasons is because of the pitches. Sometimes they make you throw bad pitches for no reason. You aim the pitch correctly, you time it. Like, that was slightly off the circle.
It's softly on the ground to third.
But it was, you know, it was still in the strike zone, and they're making contact with just about everything that goes in the strike zone. That's why you can't really strike anybody out. I mean, sometimes they don't swing at it and you get a strike for strike 1, but strike 2 is usually a foul. But you just don't, I don't get the strikeouts in this. Like, sometimes I don't strike anybody at all, and it's kind of like, it's almost arcade-like. For me, MLB The Show 21, the gameplay to me was better. This one, it feels rigged. Like, sometimes I lose games, but it feels like the loss is being forced on you. MLB The Show 21, if I played well, batted well, I would usually win the game, but I would lose by making mistakes. I wasn't as good at it at that time. This one feels like they just force wins and losses on you. Like, some games feel like you feel like you're just killing teams, like you're just hitting everything. You're getting everybody out. And then some games it's the other way around. You feel like you can't do anything. Like, you keep constantly getting pop-ups. But the main thing is, and I'm being the Reds here, the main thing is I just can't seem to get any strikeouts. That's the biggest difference. So everybody's contacting the ball, and that certainly makes it harder for you to win the game, of course, because you're not getting your Ks, have no strikeouts yet. Everybody makes contact except for the guys that get walked. So that kind of makes it feel arcade-like. We haven't struck out either. I mean,
on the ground to third. Wow, nice play.
We haven't struck out. Wow, that was crazy. That was an absolutely crazy play. Let's take a look at that again. Good grief. I'm not sure who that is, but he must be like one of those all-star fielders. Look at that. That was crazy. I haven't seen nobody do it that good in this yet. You know, I can't make those plays. Whenever I dive, my guy doesn't grab the ball. My timing is like a little bit off. That was a low pitch. I shouldn't have swung at it. But anyway, what I was saying was, MLB The Show 21, if I made bad swings and mistakes in the outfield, I would lose. In this one, it seems like they just kind of force losses on you. Like, you feel like you're doing everything right, but all your good hits are just pop-ups. And, you know, this one, look at this, man. They're making all these amazing plays. It kind of feels more arcadey a little bit. Not to the point of the game being fictional or anything, but it's just, it just seems like, and you know, we're not striking out or anything, but it just, we're only down 1-0, but it kind of feels like one of those games where I can't win. That might not be the case. Some games feel like they can go either way, but probably at least 60% of your games feel like you're either being forced into a win or forced into a loss.
Kicks and fires.
That's Wade Miley, the pitcher. He was on our team because I was using the Reds in MLB Show 21 as well, and we had Wade Miley as a pitcher, so
swung on, belted back there.
I hope that's gone.
It bangs off
Oh, no,
the
it's
wall.
not. As you can see, his speed is only 20. So, I mean, he could have got 2 out of that, but I wasn't really,
The shortstop, Marcel.
you know, this is a creative player. See how well he does. He just constantly pop flies out.
Puts the squeeze on that one, and that'll end the inning. Reds lead 1. They're down.
But yeah, what I was saying was, I feel like MLB The Show 21 is better than this. The gameplay, because I played on dynamic difficulty on that as well, and it's like you just can't strike. It's a little bit too arcadey in this one. And I guess some people may say, well, that makes the game funner, more enjoyable. But for me, I'm looking for that simulation, realistic experience, with the exception of the time, you know, because, and what they do also is they kind of mess your pitches up for sometimes. Like they'll make you throw a bad pitch for no reason. Like, see, I'm not hitting none of my pitches where I aim it, and when I do, they just hit it. So it's like you can't really do anything. I you know.
That's inside.
Look at this. They force you to throw it right in the center. Otherwise, they're gonna make you throw it outside.
Anything to hit here. He takes a strike.
They made throw that one a little bit high. And if you throw a regular fastball, you know, they'll leave the yard with that one. You can't do that. But if you throw one of the other pitches, you run the risk of it going out of the strike zone, despite you putting it in the middle. See, all my pitches are a little bit off from where I aim it. All of them are. Nothing goes exactly where I aim it. They always go outside of that. So you just don't know where your pitch is going most of the time.
Chance handled to first.
So you have, you know, the whole game where everybody's contacting the ball. Not everybody's getting on base, but everybody's making contact. You got no strikeouts. To me, 21 is, I mean, well, MLB The Show 22 is not realistic to me. It's not. I mean, I would have good pitchers. If I had a good pitcher with good attributes in MLB The Show 21, he would pretty much strike out batters, you know, pretty good. Nothing too over the top. Like, he wasn't striking out 20 batters or nothing. He was striking out maybe at least 10, 8 batters. This one, you're lucky if you get one. I mean, that's what it feels like. And I don't feel the difference from pitcher to pitcher, like from somebody who has high attributes and somebody who has low attributes. They don't feel any different. I mean, you got a guy with high attributes. His pitches are off regardless. He can't get strikeouts either. It's like
popped up. Winker sizes this one up. No trouble here.
I mean, I like the fielding in this. The fielding is quite enjoyable, but the pitching is just bad in this. It doesn't make sense. All your pitchers feel like, the only difference is your pitchers have different pitches, but skill-wise, I don't feel any difference, man. I feel like your low attribute guys have or, you know, they can't.
Ground ball right side. India handles the chance, and he'll just eat it.
See, I screwed that up. I screwed that up really bad because I was trying to switch guys that I was controlling. That's the only issue I have with the fielding is when you're controlling one guy and you're trying to switch to another one and they don't switch it. And the other guys, the CPU guys, are not really reacting as they should. But the fielding is usually really, really good. Every now and then I do something stupid like that right there. That was more like my own fault because I should have been just stuck with the guy that I was originally controlling instead of trying to switch. But yeah, this game, it doesn't feel like it's not as fun to me because I like having good pitchers with good attributes. Like he's a pitcher with high attributes, but he can't do anything either, man. Like your aims are always off. Oh, you know, who knows? Maybe I can get a strikeout here. I usually end up with 1 or 2 strikeouts with my starter, if I'm lucky. And look at that, you know, obviously when I get nothing out of that. But yeah, like I said, like I was saying earlier, you play, it's discouraging and it's not enjoyable because you play these games and you feel like you have no shot at winning at all. Because all you're, you know, and it's a pattern. Late in the game, I'll eventually score 1 run. Like late in the game, and that's pretty much where I'm at in this game. It's just, and I don't even finish the game sometimes because my pitcher can't do anything.
Up the middle, India handles. That's out number 3.
And it's time for me to put somebody in the bullpen because, like I said, my pitchers can't do nothing. It doesn't matter what their attributes are. It seems like they're all really bad. And it's just, it's discouraging. The game, 22 is not nearly as enjoyable as 21. It looks exactly the same, and of course. And my guys are doing nothing but popping out, like almost everybody. You know, I haven't had any base run. I may have had a base run. Let's take a look. I don't recall. I got 2 hits. And another thing I noticed is when you get a guy on first base and there's less than 1 out, there's less than 2 outs, they're pretty much going to double play you. They're going to grind. It's going to be a grinder and you're going to get a double play. On these games where you feel like you can't really win.
And first offering is
but in this game, some games we're constantly grinding out. This game we're all pop flying out, pretty much. And then, like I said, later in the game, we'll be able to eventually get a run in, but you feel like you don't have any chance to win. It's mainly, the biggest problem is that pitching. I can't pitch in this. No matter how good you think you're pitching, the pitches are off or they're right down the middle, and they just, the CPU, like I said, they make contact with every single pitch. I mean, every single at bat.
Here's Jesse Winker. And he swings.
That was a horrible pitch. That was a pitch that I shouldn't have swung at. They got me with that one. So sometimes I do mess up, you know, and it falls back on me like that one. This will probably be a double play.
Line drive caught. Throw not in time as he's able to get back to avoid.
It was close to a double play, but yeah.
The right fielder, number 12, Tyler.
We're trying to let a little bit of time go by so we can put our other pitcher in. Hopefully he's warmed up. But it doesn't seem like it matters. Pitchers have different pitches, but their attributes feel the same. It just feels like nobody's really. And that ball actually should have hit him. Obviously.
Proud of this outing so far. Sometimes guys cower coming into a ballpark like this, but he has attacked hitters. Pitching on the road like this is very impressive. This has been a treat to watch.
See what we can do here. See, we're just going to keep pop flying out. That's all we're going to do for this whole game. And that's what I mean. Like, MLB The Show 21, it seemed like it was strictly based on your mistakes, your good hitting, your bad hitting, if you swing at bad pitches. I mean, yeah, swing at bad pitches, don't time your pitches correctly, make mistakes playing outfield, you were going to lose games. And this one, it doesn't feel like that. They just... Let's see, where's my energy at? I forgot to check it.
Castillo back to work. Bounce to the right side.
But again, he's not striking nobody out, so you don't have to worry about that. And we're in the 6th inning, and we can't strike anybody out. It doesn't feel realistic.
Manager out of the dugout now.
The only reason why you even switch pitchers is because of stamina. But that was a bad aim. Like, this guy's attributes are kind of low. It doesn't even matter. It makes no difference. You're going to get the same results. Nobody's striking anybody out, so you don't even have to worry about that. And I'm not saying I never get strikeouts, but the most I'm going to get is probably 3. Look at this, man. This is ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, that's this video. This is one of the games where I feel like I just can't do anything. You can't get no strikeouts. They're just killing you on the batting. And when you come across a game where they're okay with you winning or they want you to win, you still won't get very many strikeouts, but you'll at least get runs and get good hits, and you won't be popping out all the time. But
up the middle, India picks it up, tosses to first,
and I play fielding pretty good most of the time. I make crazy mistakes every now and then, but I'm decent at the fielding aspect of this game. But that pitching, I just can't do nothing with it. Because, and, it goes both ways. Because nobody has, imagine an MLB game, you're in the 6th inning, nobody on either side has struck out at all. Like, this is not, it's not simulation anymore. It's like, it just isn't. It's more like arcade type stuff. And that's not really what I'm looking for when I play this game. I want like a more, and no matter how much I realize that you can't strike these batters out. In some games, you're not striking anybody out. But I'm still going to try.
And that's a base hit.
Anyway, that's this video. That's how I feel about this game. My final verdict is I don't like this as much as I like it enough to play it, but I kind of don't really want to play it anymore. I just want to play MLB The Show 21 because it feels more realistic, more simulation based. And it wasn't too easy. I mean, I didn't even make the playoffs, but the game was still better. Like the gameplay, I lost games because I was making mistakes. In this one, you can feel mistake-free. If they want you to get beat, you're getting your butt kicked. It doesn't matter what you do.
Back-to-back breaking pitches away, you get the
they'll make you make mistakes. Like the main thing is this pitching.
There's one. And it's a double play.
See, I do pretty decent on the fielding. But as long as they crack them out of the park like this, and we can't strike nobody out at all, we're not winning this game. We have no shot.